In the next 10 minutes, you're going to learn the one thing that's stopping your sales team from closing more deals and exactly how to fix it in the next 7 days. This isn't about getting more leads, it's about getting the right leads. So, let me ask you something. Is your marketing basically like a restaurant with nobody manning the door? You know the scenario. Your door's wide open, anyone can wander in, and you're getting traffic, the place looks buzzing. But when you actually look a little closer, what's actually going on? People are coming in, they're grabbing a table for four, ordering a free glass of water, maybe a single coffee, and then they leave. You haven't sold any meals and you haven't sold any drinks, which is actually where you make your money. So your staff are run off their feet, the kitchen's firing on all cylinders, but at the end of the day, your cash register is still empty. Does that feel familiar in any way, shape, or form? And if it does, what I'm going to tell you over the next little while is to help you avoid this in the future, because your business doesn't actually have a traffic problem, it has a gate problem. Here's some symptoms you might recognize and what they actually look like in your business on a day to day basis. And typically, it will be a constant stream of little frustrations that sap you and your team of time, money, and effort. So you get an inquiry through the website, it looks promising, you do a bit of research, you prep for the call, you jump on, and 5 minutes in, you realise they've got a budget that wouldn't fill a full tank of petrol for a car. They want the world, but they've got the budget for a map. And that's half an hour of your life you're not going to get back. Or how about this one? The We're Just Exploring call. The person is really lovely, they ask loads of questions, you have a great chat, and at the end they say, "This has been really helpful, thanks. We're just exploring right now." You've just spent an hour of your life as an unpaid tour guide for their information gathering mission. They walk away with a notebook full of your best ideas, and you walk away with nothing. And the worst one, which is the absolute worst, is when you spend hours crafting the perfect proposal, you've dotted the I's, crossed the T's, you send it over, you're feeling great about it, and then nothing. Crickets. You follow up politely, more crickets. You've been ghosted. You start to wonder, was the proposal wrong? Was the pricing off? It wasn't that the proposal was wrong, it was that the person was never serious in the first place. This isn't just about wasted time, it's about the corrosive effect it has on your team. Your sales guys start getting cynical. Every new lead becomes a potential time waster. Your own energy drains away because you're spending all your time defending, qualifying, and justifying instead of actually helping people who want and can pay for your help. So, why do we do it? It's one word: fear. We're scared of missing out. And the biggest fear is, but if I put up a gate, won't I lose those leads? Of course you will, and you should. You will lose the time wasters. You will lose the people with no budget. You will lose the just exploring crowd. You will lose the people who were never going to buy from you in the first place. Losing these leads isn't a cost, it's a profit. So let's do some quick maths. Let's say your top salesperson's time is worth £200 an hour. If they spend just 5 hours a week on calls with time wasters, that's £1,000 a week. That's £4,000 a month. That's nearly 50,000 a year. You're paying your best person to talk to people who will never buy anything. That's the real cost of not having a gate. It's not just the time, it's cold hard cash you're setting on fire. And what about the common objections? But my market is small, I can't afford to be niche. The truth is, the smaller your market, the more important it is to be niche. You can't afford to waste your limited resources on anyone who isn't a perfect fit. But what if a good lead gets filtered out? If your gates are designed properly based on budget, urgency, and fit, the only people you'll filter out are the ones who would have wasted your time anyway. A good lead will see your gates as a sign of professionalism, not a barrier. The three gates and your 7 day implementation plan. So, how do we fix this? You build the gates. Here's the three you need and a 7 day plan to get it done. First, the fit gate. This answers, are you a good fit for us? People want to feel like they belong. By being explicit about who you're for, you attract the right people and politely repel the wrong ones. Here's what you do: go to your Calendly page, add a required question. What is your approximate annual revenue, or how many employees are on your team? Use the routing rules. If they select a size that's too small, redirect them to a page that says, Thanks for your interest. It looks like we're not the best fit for you right now, but here's a free guide that might help. And this takes 30 minutes to set up. That's day 1 and 2. The second one, the value gate. This answers, is this problem painful enough for you to solve? People don't buy solutions, they buy relief from pain. If they can't articulate the pain, they won't value the relief. This gate forces them to quantify the cost of an action. Go to your website's contact form, add a mandatory field. What's the biggest thing that will happen if you don't solve this problem in the next 3 months? A serious prospect will have a clear answer. A time waster will leave it blank or write not sure. You can instantly see who's worth your time. That's day 3 and 4. And third, the commitment gate. This answers, are you serious about this? This uses the principle of consistency. By getting them to make a small, low effort commitment, you make it more likely they'll follow through with a larger one. Create a simple one-page PDF. Call it your pre-call checklist. It should ask 3 questions. Number 1, what does success look like for you? Number 2, what have you tried so far? And number 3, what's your ideal timeline? Now, go to your email automation, create an email that sends automatically after someone books a call. The email should say, to make our call as productive as possible, please fill out this one-page checklist and send it back to me 24 hours before our call. The ones who do it are your best prospects. The ones who don't, you can politely cancel. And that's day 5 and 6. And day 7, review and look at the leads that come through. You'll already see a difference. The real world impact of all of this, I work with a small agency who did exactly this. Let's call them Agency X. Before Gates, their 2 founders were doing 15 to 20 sales calls a week. Their calendar was a nightmare. They were closing about 1 in 10. They felt busy, but they were barely growing. Their revenue was stuck. After implementing these 3 gates, their call volume dropped to 4 to 5 calls a week. The first month, they were terrified. They thought I'd killed their business, but of those 4 to 5 calls, they were closing 2 to 3 of them. Their conversion rate jumped to over 50%. They spent 75% less time on sales calls, but their revenue went up by 40% in the first quarter. They had more time, more energy, and they were finally working with clients they actually wanted. That's the real impact. The final question. So, look, the question you need to ask yourself isn't, can I afford to turn people away? The real question is, how much longer can you afford to let everyone in? Think about it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in again. And if you enjoyed this content or you think it will be useful, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe.